Peter Max, ladies and gentlemen. Peter Max is the most famous living artist today. Let me ask you a question. If you could go back 50 years and buy Picasso, would you do it? Of course you would. That is the level of fame that we are dealing with right here with Peter Max. Peter Max is more famous, more successful in his lifetime than Picasso was during his. Now there are many reasons why Peter Max is such a famous and such a successful, incredible artist, and I'm going to share some of those with you now. Peter Max is an artist that was actually born in Berlin. He was raised in Shanghai, he's been all over the world, but when he first came to the United States, there was a defining moment in his life. That was when he was going down the River Hudson and he looked up and saw the Statue of Liberty. The very principles that Peter Max lives by are represented in the Statue of Liberty. Peace, freedom, independence, hope, liberty. These are his very, very principles. Now, the first time that Peter Max actually went up close was to have a tour of the Statue of Liberty. When he was there, he saw bird droppings, he saw the handrails were pulled off, he saw graffiti. Peter Max, he could not allow this to stand. This was very, very upsetting for him. Now, Peter Max actually took part on a restoration project together with Lee Iacocca. You know who he is, the guy who invented the Mustang. Together, without a dime of taxpayers' money, raised $220 million to restore the Statue of Liberty. That's how much these very values mean to him. Now, Peter Max was not the person that invented the word love, we all know this, but he was the first person to put it into art. Into the psychedelic 60s, he had this amazing pop art style that was very, very different from anything that had come before it. He did to the art world what the Beatles did to the music world in the 60s. Now, coincidentally, we talk about the Beatles. Peter Max actually designed the Yellow Submarine cover for the Beatles. He's famous for many other works of art that you'll see over the years. Among them is the Pink Heart, which actually later became the Pink Ribbon, which you now associate with the cancer research projects. He was actually responsible, partly responsible I should say, in the 80s when breast cancer was a taboo subject. He brought all the awareness to it. So he's done an amazing amount for many different charities. He's one of the most philanthropic artists you will ever hear about, one of the most philanthropic people you will ever hear about. Not only does he work for many charities and he's donated huge amounts of money to the restoration projects and different charities, but he's also been the official artist at many different events, including the World Cup USA '94. He's been on talk shows, he's been on Larry King, he's been on Oprah, he's been on so many different things that have given him incredible exposure. I'm pretty sure it's not the first time you've heard of Peter Max, so bear in mind that we're dealing with an incredible artist here. He's so incredible that he's painted for the last 5 presidents of the United States. Now you may say, big deal, anybody can paint for the president. Okay, so let me rephrase it. The last 5 presidents of the United States have personally requested Peter Max come and sit there while they pose for him while he paints them. That is the level of fame that we have with Peter Max. Now, we go back to the masters of pop art, the people that made it massive in the States in the late 1950s. You have Andy Warhol, Roy Lichtenstein. One of their works of art was never sold for more than $120,000. Peter Max is still alive, and he's already sold works of art for over $500,000. It's not uncommon, ladies and gentlemen, for a Peter Max lithograph to fetch $2,000 to $3,000. Okay? Now when they rewrite the history books for the latter part of the last century and the early part of this century, Peter Max is going to be very, very prominent in there. I believe that Peter Max, along with Roy Lichtenstein and Andy Warhol, are the 3 most important factors in the pop art history. Now, not only is this your chance to get an incredible work of art, we have here the Umbrella Man, which I'm sure you recognise as being Picasso. For those of you who don't know a huge amount about Picasso, when he was on the beach, when he was doing artwork or something like this, he wasn't a great fan of the sun, so he had the umbrella. So this is his homage to Picasso. Now this is a mixed media, as I'm sure some of you are aware. It's a lithograph, and over the top of that we have a hand painted by Peter Max himself. So every single one is unique. Not only is this your chance to pick up an amazing piece of art, like I've just said, but it is your chance to really purchase a piece of art history here today. We have a suggested retail price at $2,000. $2,000. We're going to open the bidding now at $2,000. Do I see $2,000? $2,000. Thank you, bidder 189 at $2,000. How about a bid now at $2,100? $2,100, ladies and gentlemen. 138 at $2,100. Thank you for joining us at $2,100. Would you give me $2,200? Would you give me $2,200? 169 joining us at $2,200. Would you go $2,300? 2,300, ladies and gentlemen. Are you backing at 2,300? Yes, you are. Thank you very much. 2,300. Any advance on 2,300 to 2,400? 2,400. You're out for now. No problem. Anyone else at 2,400? Okay, 2,300 to bid of 189. Going once. Going twice. Congratulations, 189. $2,300 sold. Okay. Now guys, the next art that we're going to have up on the blog is my personal favourite artist, Michael Goddard.